24-hour with an exclusive morning after interview. Jason Derulo came to Quinnipiac for this year's Wake the Giant concert. Some students were called up to be a part of a twerking competition. I have with me here Jill Geiger, one of the participants. So, how did you get called up to stage?
Well, one of the backup dancers came down on the side of the stage that I was sitting at with my roommate, and it was pretty funny because I ended up switching seats right before the concert, so I wouldn't have actually been where he approached, but he ended up coming right for me, and I was the only one around that had my hand up, and he pointed at me and he was like, "Can you dance?" And I went, "Kind of." So he just kind of grabbed my hand and brought me up. It was kind of funny.
So what was it like being on stage with Jason Derulo?
Well, at first I was kind of just intimidated by the fact that there were so many lights and so many people staring at me because I was actually the first one that was brought up. And then when I turned around and realized he was right behind me, I kind of freaked out. And there were a lot of pictures of me with these insane faces on because I just didn't know how to react. And it was just, I don't know, I was just so intimidated by like the whole experience. It was just something you don't usually experience.
So how were you compared to the other twerkers?
Well, I was definitely one of the worst ones, I have to say. The girl who actually did the best was telling me, "Oh yeah, I've been dancing since I was 3, and I was like, "I just kind of mess around. I've never actually done any dancing ever." And everyone was telling me, "Yeah, your shirt was really long, and we couldn't really see what you were doing." And I was like, "It's okay. I was on stage with Jason Derulo. It doesn't really matter."
So who was the best twerker that you saw? I know there was a winner, but what was the defining moment of the competition?
Well, the winner definitely was the best one, and she went first and I went second. So right after seeing her dance, I was like, oh goodness, this is not gonna go well. And then she ended up going into sudden death with one of the other girls that was dancing, and she did a split and started dancing within the split. I don't even know how to describe it, but I don't think I've ever been so intimidated by someone dancing in my life, and I was just kind of looking at her thinking I could never do that, and it's kind of embarrassing that I'm here right now and I didn't do anything that compared to what she just did, but it was pretty interesting.
So you actually got to go backstage to meet, or not backstage, but you went to meet Jason Derulo after the concert because you were in this contest. How was that?
It was very intimidating. At first they said that we were all going to take one group picture, like me and the 4 other girls that were dancing. And then it was actually Jason who said, no, like let them each take their own personal picture with me. And it was really cool that he did that. So they lined us up and we each got to take our own personal picture. And when I was standing next to him, he said like, "Hey, sweetie, how are you?" And I could have melted right there. I was like, oh my goodness, Jason Derulo just called me sweetie. And I didn't know how to react. I didn't even think I looked him in the eye because I was just so intimidated. But it was really interesting. It was a lot of fun.
So you're a sophomore and you didn't go to last year's concert.
No.
Why this concert?
Well, I'm actually a really big Jason Derulo fan, and I was away actually the weekend that the tickets went on sale. So I didn't get one at first, and then I was bugging my roommate saying, "We have to get these tickets, like we should definitely go to this concert." And then I found a guy who was selling his tickets because he couldn't make it, and he was actually selling them for cheaper than the school was selling them for. So I ended up getting my roommates to buy like a chunk of these tickets, and we all just went together for cheaper than they were even selling for. And afterwards, my roommates kind of looked at me and went, "Wow, it's a good thing we went because you would not have gotten to do that." And I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't understand. I was shaking when I got off stage, and I was like, there's no way that this just happened to me. And they were just in awe of the fact that I was the one that actually forced them to go, and then this ended up happening.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us on the morning after. Thank you so much, Jill. Sounds like an interesting time for sure.
Thank you.